Chef, start me with this. Cured. Where does the name come from?
Love that question. Obviously, you see the case when you walk in. You see all the cured meats hanging. That's part of the name. It's part of what we do here. We love investing in our farmers, and we purchase whole animals from our farmers, and we got to do something with it, right? So we cure a lot of product, make a lot of salamis, a lot of sausages, all these things. We also cure vegetables. We make kimchis. We make our own vinegars. So it's fun. The other half of it is because I'm a cancer survivor, and it really was kind of a present to myself to be able to do this and open a restaurant with my wife, and it's been a tremendous success for 3 years now.
Well, as a cancer survivor, nice to see you here.
Yeah,
it really
you.
is. God bless. That's nice to see. Really nice to see. I think fresh is an understatement here. Everything is, you can just tell. I'm not a beet person. I had some beets tonight.
Right.
I don't know what the heck you did to them. What can you just tell me what I ate with those?
Yeah, so you had our beet salad. We marinate the beets with vinegar and sugar and tarragon, and then they're served with local arugula, avocados, and then we also make our own cracklins out of beets as well. So they're beet juice, beet powder, and a little bit of tapioca starch.
Okay, so you see right there, you hit on something that I've been, and this happened to us earlier when we were out at Signature as well,
Yeah.
is I love trying to look at food through your eyes and try to get this idea of, for example, even just on this is probably the least important thing you do all day, but blueberry mustard. Where do you come up with the idea for blueberry mustard? I picture you just sitting down in the kitchen with a lab coat on like a mad scientist going, let's see what happens if I try this.
Exactly. Well, we try to be a zero waste kitchen. And with that, if you're pickling blueberries, or you're making a nice dessert and you order too many, or you have too many, or you have some that have some blemishes, or they're starting to turn on you a little bit, then throwing them into a marmalade or a mustard is a perfect use for something that in a normal restaurant would end up in the garbage. And so for us, I push my team every day, my chefs and everybody back there, that we're zero waste. We try not to throw anything out if it has some sort of value. So you picture a bulb of fennel. Obviously the bulb is what everybody wants, but we take the stalks, turn them into marmalades. We dry the fronds out in our dehydrator and turn them into a fennel powder for different things. And so all of a sudden, what used to get lopped off and thrown into the garbage is now something that we can make money off of. And because we do that, because we're zero waste, we can keep our costs down. We can keep our menu prices down, and I think people appreciate that.
Yeah, nice. Steve, Torontonians love great food. So, what would you recommend when they're hearing this? What should they order here?
Oh goodness, you got to start out with some of the charcuterie, because it changes every day. It's very different. We like to have a lot of fun with it. We don't try and take ourselves too serious. After all, we didn't invent it. These are things that are centuries old. So we like to have fun with it and play with our ingredients. We make fun little pâtés and sausages. So you got to start there. And then I would say, anything that really... anything that's going to be a little bit different, and like bone marrow with escargot, or our cocoa cured foie gras. Those are those fun things that are just a little bit different, that you don't see everywhere, and you don't see in every single restaurant. We pride ourselves on just kind of taking classic traditional techniques, classic traditional dishes, and just turning them ever so slightly and creating something totally unique and different.
Now, you talk about classic traditional techniques. Where did you pick up those techniques? Did you have a background in restaurants before you opened this? Because you talked about it as being a dream of yours to open a place. What was your background in it?
So I'm a graduate of the Culinary Institute of America in Hyde Park, New York. And then after that, I moved to New Orleans, where I lived for 15 years and studied as a chef. And 10 of those years, I worked for Chef John Besh, who is an amazing chef, just a classically trained chef who pushed himself harder than anybody around him, and I picked up a lot of those traits from him. And him and I, we had a really good team, and him and I opened probably 8 or 9 restaurants together, and that's when I said, okay, I can probably do this for myself now. And so I definitely got a great base in New Orleans on the way things should be and the way things are, and then the way things can be. It's very fun.
presentation's a big deal, isn't it? Because I just find that the little cooking that I tend to do at home, in the presentation, it just speaks volumes, doesn't it?
Yeah, definitely. I think it's got to be, your eyes got to want to eat it too, and I'm guilty of that. I always say that, my wife and I, we usually order too much when we go out to eat, and we always say that our eyes are bigger than our stomachs because things just look so beautiful, and when you see them on a menu, they sound really interesting, they sound fun, and you want to try it. And so the next thing you know, we've ordered 7 or 8 items, and we can't eat them all. But yeah, it's very important, and you want something to kind of give you that wow factor when you come out and it set something in front of you and you're like, oh wow, this looks interesting. Right? It's not what I thought of when I heard bone marrow or when I heard lamb loin. This is totally different.
Because something can taste really crappy, but if it can taste really good, but if it doesn't look good, I don't know if I'll eat it. Like, it's got to be very appealing to the eye, or to an extent.
Oh, of course, yeah. It depends on the vessel you put it in and how you serve it, and we take a lot of those things into factor, and we like to have fun with everything we do, and we like to surprise people. We really do.
Nice.
Tell me about the place itself and your vision of how this fits into so much of what's happening down in this part of town.
Yeah, I mean, what a fun space. I'm lucky and blessed every day to be able to come to work at a place like this. I mean, it's a beautiful building, built in 1904. And it was an office building. It was an administration building for the brewery, and there was nothing in here. There was no ceiling. There was no floors. There was just walls when we got the space. And I remember the conversation I had with my architect was don't screw it up. And it's true, because with something like this that has such beautiful architecture already, it's easy, and I've seen it a lot of times in restaurants, to overthink it and to try and do too much. And we just let the building be the star, and we plopped in a new floor, and we recreated the original ceiling, and then you put some tables in and some chairs, and you've got yourself a restaurant. We really tried not to overthink it and create a place that was comfortable and inviting, and I really pride myself on this, is that we wanted to create a place where everybody felt like they belong. And so you can come in here in a suit, you can come in here in a pair of jeans, you can come in a pair of shorts and flip-flops, you still feel like you're in the right place. And that was important to us.